Lordship Sisi, Nitai Gaurangarai. Actually, this is our presiding deity. You may have taken darshan during the Ekadasi, those who are joined the Japa section. So you may take darshan of this deity. Sri Sri Nitai Gaurangarai. This is Gaurnita Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Krishna himself, and Nityananda Prabhu, Balaram, Lord Balaram, Krishna's brother. And this is Radha Krishna Kanaya, our presiding deity here in Seberang Jaya, Penang. It's a beautiful deity. The first Radha Krishna temple in Malaysia, ISKCON temple. Okay, so let us pray to the spiritual masters so get that we get blessing, so we can understand the essence of Bhagavad Gita. So we chant together. Om Jnanati Mirandasya Gena Jena Shalakaya Chakshunanmeritamena Tasmai Sri Guru Namaha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prashnaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharite Vishesha Shunyamadi Pashata Deshatarini Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sarveta Gadadhara Shiva Shari Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. We dedicate this presentation to His Grace C.C. Bhaktivinoda Swami Srila Prabhupada, the founder of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. And we read from this Gita, understanding of Gita. Maybe Tangarvel Prabhu, you like to read?
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Understanding of Gita. The forgetful living entities or conditional soul have forgotten their relationship with the Supreme Lord, and they are engrossed in the thinking of the material activities just to transfer their thinking power to the spiritual sky. Krishna Dive Payana Vihasa is given a great number of the Vedic literatures. First, he divided the Vedas into 4. Then he explained them in the Puranas, and for less capable people, he wrote the Mahabharata. In the Mahabharata, there is given as a Bhagavad Gita. Then all Vedic literature is summarized in the Vedanta Sutra. And for further guidance, he gave a natural commentations on the Vedanta Sutra called Srimad Bhagavatam. We must always engage our mind in the reading these Vedic literatures. Just as a materialist engage their mind in reading newspaper, magazines, and so many materialistic literatures, we must transfer our reading to this lecturer which is given to us by Vyasadeva. In that, it will be possible for us to remember the Supreme Lord at the time of the death. That is the only way suggested by the Lord, and He guarantees the result. There is no doubt. Introduction to the Bhagavad Gita as it.
Yeah, thanks, Prabhu.
Thank you.
So to revive back the living entity or forget about the relationship with God. So the Lord is Krishna Dvaipanya Vyasa. Vyasadeva is none different from the literary incarnation of the Lord. So he himself given these Vedic literatures, Vedic literatures, first the Vedic Rig Veda, Yajurveda, Veda, these 4 Vedas, we divided in 4 Vedas, and then he explained into the Puranas, and then less intelligent, less capable people, they give him Mahabharata, and the essence of Mahabharata is Bhagavad Gita. And because Bhagavad Gita, what we are discussing here is and then we give all the Vedic literature, the summary summarized in the Vedanta Sutra. Vedanta means conclusion of the Vedas. Veda means knowledge, the vast. But we give concluding in natural commentation of the Vedanta called Srimad Bhagavatam. Uh, and we must always engage. The Prabhupada here say, by reading scriptures, literatures, we are engaging our mind, rather than engaging the material mind, reading newspaper, unwanted magazine, materialistic literatures. We must transfer our reading to this literature which is given by Vyasadeva. And then this is possible when we remember Krishna, when we reconnect to the Lord. This is only way suggested by Lord, and He is granting the result. There's no doubt. So very nice, Prabhupada giving a understanding how to reconnect back to the forgetful. We are forgetful of the Supreme Lord. So we try to reconnect by engaging our mind in study, reading Vedic literatures. Okay, so now we are final chapter. This is chapter 18, conclusions, the perfection of renunciation. So this chapter we are divided into two. So today we're going to cover part 1, and then next week will be part 2. So this is a lot of is a 18th chapter is like a conclusion, conclusion of all this what we have learned previously. Even chapter 17, a summary of all the topic discussed. Each chapter is Krishna always emphasize. What Krishna emphasize? Anyone knows what Krishna emphasize in each chapter? The main essence point. What Krishna will emphasize?
Chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra.
Yeah.
Surrender to Krishna.
Yeah. It means engage in devotion service. Engage in devotion service. That's a summary of everything. So we try to engage. So this is by heat thinking, surrendering, different type of. There's a 9 process of devotions we discussed before, and here also the summary of 18th chapter 18. Krishna gave that, and how to engage ourselves through different aspects. So first chapter, Krishna explained the renunciation, tyaga, so perfection of renunciation. What we will see, what is the actual renunciation about? So we'll be discussing this. Krishna will telling this to Arjuna inquiring, and Krishna will answer. What Arjuna asking? So we can see here. We request maybe let's see. Hema Mataji would like to read.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Bhagavad Gita 18 verses 1. Arjuna Uvacha Sanyasya Mahabaho Tattvam Chichayami Vidyatum Tyagasya Cha Haskesa Pridakasi Nisodana. Arjuna said, O mighty armed one, I wish to understand the purpose of reunification, Tyaga, end of the re-announced order of life, Sannyasai, O killer of the Kasi demon, master of the sense.
Okay. Thanks, Madhuri.
Hare Krishna.
So Arjuna asks, oh mighty Am one, wishes to understand the purpose of renunciation. Tyaga, renunciation. You renounce. What is the purpose of renunciation? And then you are asking of the renounced order of life, sannyasa. So, killer of Kasi demon. So here, Arjuna using the words Kasi Misudana, Kasi Misudana, and master of the senses, Rishikesha. Of course, Krishna, he indicates Krishna as a master of all senses. So master of all senses means he is the two word is very verse is indicating very significant. Master of all is always attain the mind of serenity, means mind is always peace, serenity, because he's a master of all the senses. And Arjuna using the word Kesi Nisudana, Kesi demon. Krishna killed the demon, very powerful demon, this Kesi demon. If you read Krishna book, so it's very powerful demon. So the demon is like a doubt, demon of doubt. So Arjuna has this demon in his mind, doubt. So Krishna, the master of the senses, is requested to remove this doubt. So Arjuna asking, in other words, what is the renunciation, tyaga, and of the order of life, sannyas. What is sannyas mean, and what is tyaga? Real tyaga is what? What is a sannyas? Sannyas means you give up the activities, or what is that? So we also discussed in the previous chapters about this sannyasa. What is the real sannyas? So this is the inquiry Arjuna puts, and let us see what Krishna answer the following verses. Krishna will answer for this question. What Arjuna asked. Arjuna inquired about sannyasa and tyaga. Tyaga means giving up. Sannyasa means renounce order of life. So let us see what Krishna answered. So here Krishna answers. Let me see. So may Krishna Mataji, you like to read?
Sri Sri Bhagavan Vacha Kamyanam Karmanam Yasam Samyasam Kavayo Vidu Sarva Karma Pala Tayam Prabhus Tayam Vita
Tyagam.
Tyagam Vikasana. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, the giving up of activities that are based on material desire is what great learned men call the renounced order of life, sannyasa. And giving up the results of all activities is what the wise call renunciation, tyaga. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So the performance of activities for the results has to be given up. This is the instruction of Bhagavad Gita. So the results. So the giving up, the person will say, the giving up the activities that are based on the material desire. You mean the results, what you derive from your activities. So the result you have to giving up. Don't attach to the results. So that's the teaching of Bhagavad Gita. When you attach, you have become entangled. But activity leading to advance in knowledge are not to be given up. Means is what great learned men call renounced order of life. That's a sannyas. Giving up all activity based on material desire. So material desire, whatever material desire, fruitive activities, you want to attach to the results of the activities. So that has to be given up. That's called sannyas. If this is anyone, even a householder who are not attached to the fruits of the results, and there also is a tyaga, renounce, tyagam, and giving up the results of activity is wise for renunciation. Giving up the results of the activities. So there's two things, One is activities based on material desire, and one is giving up the results of the activities. These two things has to be. This is called sannyas and tyaga. So that's activity which is leading, advancing in spiritual knowledge are not to be given up. So whatever activities you are doing for the spiritual upliftment, for your own enhance of the spiritual activities, that shouldn't be given up. But whatever material desire, which is temporarily try to hook us, so that has to be renounced slowly. So that's called renunciation. Tyaga. So the further Krishna explained, this is interesting. Yeah, you can read Mateshwari Mataji, you like to read?
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Yatna dana tapaha karma natya tyajama karyam ivatat yatno danama tapaschaiva pavanani manishinam. Acts of sacrifice, charity, and penance are not to be given up. They must be performed. Indeed, sacrifice, charity, and penance purify even the great souls. All these activities should be performed as a matter of duty and without any expectations of result. Bhagavad Gita, chapter 18, sloga 6.
Yeah, thanks. So you see, yagna, dana, tapa, karma, all these yagna, yaga you do, you perform five sacrifice, you perform charity. We are seen in the chapter 17 about charity, even the mood of goodness, passion, ignorance, in the mood of goodness. So the tapa, austerity, we are seen activity, karma. So now Krishna say act of sacrifice, charity, and penance. Austerity, not be given up. It means they must be performed. Even indeed, sacrifice, charity, penance, purify even the great souls like sannyasi. Sannyasi also they give charity. Sannyasi, for example, sannyasi is forbidden to cook, but they can cook for Krishna. They can cook for the Lord. So whatever the Lord we are doing for the Lord, so that shouldn't be given up. Whatever we do yagya, just like for example, marriage, vivaha yagna. We say vivaha yagna. Vivaha means a marriage ceremony. So marriage ceremony shouldn't be given up. He has to, because this yagya, sometimes people renounce, we live like, like Western world, they are not encourage marriage, Western mentality. So they just live together. So it's not a culture. It's not a, Krishna doesn't say that. Krishna say you have to perform yagna. So why a vivaha marriage? So he says that the main means that to regulate the human mind so that he become peaceful for spiritual advancements. So that's all this yagya, sacrifices has to be done. Shouldn't be given up. Krishna says. Mainly like charity. Charity means you give charity, you get purifications in the heart. Charity is given suitable person, not in the mood of ignorance or passion. In the mood of goodness, suitable person, in the suitable time, you give. So that leads to spiritual advancements. So Krishna says, don't renounce. Oh, I am very renounced. I don't do all these. It's not like that. So Krishna said, cannot be given up. Very nicely Krishna explained here. So then further on renunciation, Krishna speaks on the renunciation, which request here. Okay. Yogeshwari Mataji, you have to table the mode of renunciation, the three moods.
Okay, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Krishna.
Renunciation, mode, goodness, characteristics, one, performing prescribed duty because it is ought to be done. Second, renouncing all material associations and all attachment to the fruit.
Yeah.
Passion, mode, characteristics, giving up prescribed duties as troublesome or out of fear of bodily discomfort. Mode, ignorance, characteristics, giving up his prescribed duties due to illusion. Bhagavad Gita, chapter 18, verses 7 to 9.
Yeah, Thanks. Vivek.
Thank you, Prabhu.
So it means in the mood of goodness, there's a renounce, you are renounced performing prescribed duty because it is ought to be done. So you do perform. So renunciation in the goodness means you perform with this mentality. One should act without attachment to the results, and he should be dissociated with the mood of work. So he's doing, in other words, so a man work for Krishna consciousness. He make one work in the factory, for example, he make, but if he is a Krishna consciousness, if he got God consciousness, the mood of goodness, so he works, but that he didn't attach to the fruits, but the results he give to the Lord. So by performing prescribed duty, because it is he renouncing all material associations. It means he is not attached to the fruits and all the attachment of the fruits. So he work, but it's not. That's called renunciation. So it means whatever Lord gives, so he is satisfied. So that's called tyaga. You are not attached to the fruits of the results. So renunciation, that's the real renunciation. Although you make in the fact, you work in the factory, you work in somewhere in your office, or whatever job, but if you are Krishna, you are not attached to that fruits, the results. So then that's called renunciation. In the mode of passion, so in the mode of passion, they are they they are like giving up prescribed duty because you think bodily troublesome, or out of fear, bodily discomfort. Oh, I don't do work because it's going to be trouble for me. I get sick. So that's like this person. No, sorry, like this person. So he tried to avoid work, renounce, so-called renounce, because of the discomfort, the bodily discomfort. So he just so-called renounced. So in the mood of ignorance, we see he giving up the prescribed duty due to the illusion, laziness, completely illusions, like sleeping. So it doesn't work. He say, "Oh, I'm renounced. I doesn't do work." So that is in the mood of ignorance, illusions. So further, Krishna explained, this is nicely explained, persons who are acting in knowledge. So how it's not, for one who is not renounced, you see that what Krishna says is those Pushpa Devi Mata, you like to read?
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Anistam istam misram cha trividam karmana phalam bhavati atyaginam pritya natu sanyasinam kvachit.
Yeah.
For one who is not renounced the threefold fruits of action, desirable, undesirable, and mixed, actual after that, but those who are in renounced order of life have no such result to suffer or enjoy. Hare Krishna.
Thanks, Hare Krishna. So to suffer and enjoy, see, for one who is not renounced, he threefold action. So threefold action, desirable, undesirable, and mix occur after death. So he has to come and he has to desiring all these. But those who are in the renounced order of life have no such result to suffer and enjoy. Is in other words, a person Krishna wants to act in knowledge of his relationship with Krishna. It means you're doing everything for the Lord's pleasure. It means you are act on the platform of liberation, liberated. Whatever activities you may think something you cook for Krishna, you are dressed for the Lord, or decorating the Lord, doing puja. You do everything acting in the relationship with the Lord. It means you act as in the liberated stage. Yeah. So therefore, it does not. You do not have to enjoy or suffer the results of act of the death. So when you act in such a way, that's called tyaga, renounced, and you no need to suffer after death. You see, and further, Krishna explained the causes, the 5 causes of action. Whatever action we perform, so there's a 5 pancha, panchatani, it means 5 causes. Krishna said here, 13 to 14, Krishna explained this verse. Very nice verse, very important verse to understand. Shamala Mataji, you like to read?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
5 causes of action. Bhagavad Gita, chapter 18, verses 13 to 14. Panchaitani maha baho karanani nibodha me. Sankhye krtante proktani siddhaye sarva karma. Siddhaye sarva karmanam. Adhishtanam tatha kartha karanam cha pratak vividas cha pratak chesta daivam chaivatra pancham.
Pachamam, yes. Panchamam is 5 causes. Yeah. Thanks.
Oh, mighty arm Arjuna. According to the Vedanta, there are 5 causes for the accomplishment of all action. Now learn of this from me. The place of action, the body, the performer, the various senses, the many different kinds of endeavor, and ultimately the super soul. These are the 5 factors of action.
Yeah, thanks, Mataji. So it's very nice verse. This is a 5, whatever you must understand in your life, whatever you do, whatever activities you do, this is a 5 factor cause of the 5 factor. You must study this, learn this 5 cause. What is the 5 cause? What are they? Place of action. What is the place of action? The body. The body, that's the cause of whatever activity you do, that's the cause of body. The performer. Who is the performer? Who is the performer? Anyone like to answer? Who is the performer? The place of action is body. The performer is who?
Soul.
Yes. Soul,
The
correct.
individual soul.
Yeah, individual soul, correct. So the soul, the jiva, and the various senses. We have various pancha, karma indriya, jnana indriya, all these senses, various senses. Then many kind of endeavor, desiring. We try to desire to enjoy this, enjoy that. So this is a 4 factor from our side, from the soul, the body, the soul, the various senses, and endeavor, many endeavor. Then ultimately, who is that? Super soul. Yes, super soul. Who is super soul?
The Lord.
Yeah, Paramatma, the super soul within the heart. Sarvasya Chaham Idhi Sanvisto, the Lord situated in one's heart. This is the 5 factor of action. Whatever action you do, sometimes we blame, oh, my Lord, the Lord, you are the cause of everything. So when something bad happened to us, we are immediately blaming God. Oh God, I'm praying 5 times a day. Every day I'm chanting 16 rounds. Bad things happen to me. Krishna, you are the cause. Krishna is only 1%. Isn't it? Krishna only out of these 5 causes, Krishna only, Paramatma only the one. But you see, the other 4 is who? Whatever action we perform is who? Who are the cause?
Body.
We are the cause. Just for example, I just giving a cruel example. I told you, I mean, explained this before. Just like a father taking a small child. So the small child, let's say small child means they have a place of action, the body of the child, the performer, the soul of the child, and he has a senses. He saw in the what they call, let's say, father taking him to the shopping mall, and then he saw some toys. Some is for the little bigger children to play with. But this small child, he saw that, oh, I want that toy, I want that toy. So the father say, because the I want the toy means he endeavor, he desire for have it. The eye saw the eye saw these toys, and then he desire it. This is the endeavor. He put endeavor. Oh, I want this. I want this. I want to desire. I want to have that toys. Then what father say? What father say? Father advise. Father is like a super soul. Father say, don't. It's not nice for you. It's not suitable for you. The father say, you're still young. This toy is not suitable. But anyhow, he was crying and desiring so much. Then what happened? What will father say? What will father say? Praveen? Pravinish?
He will buy.
Yeah,
Like
if you have so much endeavor, you're more crying, you want to have it. The father say, okay, you take it. Father will let go, Okay, you take it. Then father buy and give. This is a super soul tensioning. First the super soul said no. But anyhow, super soul is permits. So this is of our cause. 5 for our cause action. And then the Lord is permits to do it. And then if suffer, we are based on this section, we are suffer and enjoy. So this boy, he don't know how to handle the toys, and then end up he get injured. Then he suffer. So this is a cruel example. So similarly, our actions, whatever action we do, when we go against the Supreme Lord, so we suffer for how we enjoy. So the resultant is in us. But the Lord will always giving a guidance, actually, as a Paramatma. He always wants us to do, something which is favorable for surrendering to the Lord. But we want to enjoy. We have so much endeavor, desire, all this greed. So, yeah. So he also described it. Knowledge of the object of knowledge. Ranjina Mataji, you like to read it? Ranjina Mataji, possible? Anjana?
Yes. Who, Prabhu? Regina, Anjana?
Anjana, so you can. Mother, daughter. Okay.
Okay. Wait.
Sorry. Can. Okay.
Jnanam jenam parijyata trividya karma kodana karanam karma karteti trividya karma sangraha.
Yeah.
Knowledge, the object of knowledge, and the knower are the three factors that motivate action. The senses, the work, and the doer are the three constitutes of action.
Yeah. Thanks, Madhu. So there are 3 kinds of impetus for daily work. So whatever activities you do, knowledge, object of knowledge, and the knower are the 3 factors that motivate actions. So whatever you want to do, the instruments of work, the work itself, and the worker is called the constitute of work. I mean, anyhow, any work done by any human being has these elements. Whatever we do, this element is. Well, you want to know what is the knowledge, what is about this, and the object, how you're operating, and then how to know about it. So, Krishna, this is the impetus. Impetus means just giving us inspiration to do things as they are. So, whatever the impetus, when the inspiration, there's a worker, there's the actual take place, activities take place. So, by the help of the senses, including the mind. So the mind says, okay, you do impetus the knowledge. If you know knowledge, you know take knowledge. So there's an impetus to do it. You want to do it. So that's a sum total of the constitution that activities are called accumulation, or you work, you do the works that to be done. Karma sangrahanam, karma sangrahanam, three constituents of actions. And then we see that how this works, knowledge. So we can see the table here. It's also divided into three moods of the actions of our actions according to the moods of material nature. So maybe someone can read here. Pavinish, you can try read this table.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, chapter 18, verse 20 to 22. Mode of goodness, characteristics, one undivided spiritual nature is seen in all living entities. Mode of passion, characteristics, in every different body, there is a different type of living entity. Mode of ignorance, the characteristics are one is attached to one kind of work as the all in all. The second one is without knowledge of the truth, and which is very meager. Confidential knowledge is that we are a spirit soul. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. So here, the mood of goodness, here, this is in the mood of goodness. So he says one individual, undivided spiritual nature is in all living entities. So it means that everyone is a living entity, is a spirit souls are there, Paramatma is there as well. So that's another knowledge. That's knowledge you know. So it means, so when you have this knowledge, so you won't try to harm other living entity. You see everyone's equal, your different perceptions. Just like one shloka Krishna said, Vidya Vinaya Sampane Brahmane Gavyastine Sunicha Swapakecha Pandita Samadarshana. So as a Pandita, a learned person, one who have knowledge, Pandita, the spirit soul, he sees every living entity, a super soul. So he sees everyone in equal vision. It means there's no discrimination for him, for animal, human, everything. So that's why we won't kill living entities. So we see that's also the soul is present. And that's a knowledge. So the knowledge in the mood of goodness, the spirit souls in every living entity. So we don't have a right to take that spirit away. So even if he kill animal, still the animal there has to come again, continue again until they are finished their lifespan. Let's say the chicken has to live for 5 years. Then we cut within the 3 years. Then the chicken has to come again and then continue and finish it another 2 years. So we are stopping that, that the evolution. So in the mood of passion, this is called the mood of passion. He doesn't see the different type of living entity, different body. So because some they believe, some even Christianity they believe some the animals the souls not exist in the animal. It says that the only human being. So they say thou should not murder. Actually, Jesus says thou should not kill. So he shouldn't kill. I say So sometimes people in the mood of passion, they want to enjoy these living entities. So they just interpret the scriptures and they just put, thou shalt not murder. So thou shalt not murder. Yes, correct. Thou shalt not murder means you can't kill the human being. Kill means for all living entities, including animals. Uh, but in the mood of passions, people are discriminating. They are not believe this soul in the animals. So in the mode of ignorance, what's the what's the result? Yeah, you want to attach to one kind of work, just like a software engineer. So they're just into it, 12 hours. They just know this beyond. That's no beyond of that knowledge. Knowledge of the spirit, they're forgotten. They are without knowledge of the truth, which is very meager, very, very. They just workaholic. They call workaholic, and then they sleep after so much hard work. They sleep. So this is an ignorance. So this is confidential knowledge. Krishna is giving us a confidential knowledge is that we are spirit souls. We are not this body. We are not this body means this is the confidential knowledge. More confidential knowledge, and we will be seeing in this chapter most confidential knowledge. So now we are Krishna giving confidential knowledge. Confidential means we are not this body, they are spirit soul, and then we see further confidential, more confidential knowledge. And this is karma. Krishna explained on karma. Knowledge, karma, then karta, work. So, Nanda Mataji, you like to read the table.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Karma Bhagavad Gita, verse 18.2, 23 to 25. In the mode of goodness, characteristics regulated, performed without attachment, without love or hatred, and without desire for fleeting results. In the mode of passion, characteristics performed with great effort by one seeking to gratify his desires, enacted from a sense of false ego. In the mode of ignorance, characteristics performed in illusion, in disregard of scriptural injunctions, without concern for future bondage, without concern for violence or distress caused to others. Hare Krishna.
Thanks, Marie. So in the mood of goodness, if you are doing work, karma, your activities, you are regulated. You are always doing, perform it, perform without attachment. So you just carry on with your work. Because why you able to do that work? Because you are not attached. Without attachment, you perform without attachment. So you're able to do the work. Without love or hatred, without desire for fruitive results. So that is in the mood of goodness, regulated occupationality as prescribed in the scriptures, terms of different order, division society, according to Varnashrama, performed without attachment. So in the passion, performed with a great effort, so much effort is good, one seeking to gratify his desire. I want to achieve this. I want to, they work sometimes, they work so hard, and so want to achieve something, but he cannot, he get disappointed. He enacted from the sense of false ego. Then you try to enjoy, oh, I done this. This is my work. Yes. So this is out of egoistic performed. This is in the mood of activities in the mood of passion. And ignorance is performed in illusions. Everything is in illusion, disregard of scripture injunction, never follow any sastra scripture without concern of future bondage. Whether we're going to bound him or whatever happened, I just do what I like to do. This type of mentality is called ignorance. works in ignorance without any concern or violence or distress caused to others. And we see the karta, workers. So what is karta? Workers. Huh? Karta means the worker. So karta is one who perform the activities. Karta, performer, performance. Huh? Divya, Mataji, you like to read the table here?
You can even control your time. You try now? Nah, I think they're eating.
Oh, we have echo there. Who's, okay. Tangeshwari Mataji, you can read.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Worker Karta, Bhagavad Gita, chapter 18, text 26 to 28. Mode of goodness, characteristics. Number 1, performs his duty without association with the modes of material nature and without false ego. Number 2, with great determination and enthusiasm and without wavering in success or failure. Mode of passion, attached to work and fruits of work, desiring to enjoy those fruits, who is greedy, always envious, impure, and moved by joy and sorrow. Mode of ignorance, works against the injunctions of scriptures, materialistic, obstinate, cheating and expert in insulting others, lazy, always morose, and procrastinating.
Okay, thanks. So we can see the characteristic of the mood of goodness. The karta, the performers. The karta performance is duty without association with the mood of nature. And without false ego. So this is the mood of goodness. So he performed with a great determination, with enthusiasm. So without he doesn't see whether it's success or going to be failure. So it's not attached to the results, the fruits. So this is the mood of goodness. And the karta, the persons who are attached to work, the fruits of work, desiring to enjoy those fruits, who are greedy, in the mode of passion. So all these Krishna dividing, different moods, how the performer, the karta, the performer, the workers, he is the. So we can see this, in the performance. If someone work against the injunction, someone who are materialistic, someone obstinate, someone cheating and expert in insulting others. So we can identify, oh, this person in the mode of ignorance, is lazy, morose, procrastinating. So we can see all these the character, the personalities. So Krishna nicely described in these verses. And the next he explained on the happiness, how the happiness are divided into 3 moods also. Let us see what Krishna say here. Yogalingam Prabhu, you like to read?
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Happiness, Bhagavad Gita, chapter 18, text 37 to 39. Mode of goodness.
Yeah.
Characteristic. 1, which in the beginning may be just like poison, but at the end is just like nectar.
Nectar, yeah.
2, which awakens one to self-realization. Mode of passion. 1, which is derived from contact of the senses with their objects. Passion 2, which appears like nectar at first but poison at the end. Mode of ignorance. 1, which is blind to self-realization. 2, which is delusion from beginning to end. 3, which arise from sleep, laziness, and illusion.
Yeah, thanks, Prabhu.
Thanks.
So now we see the happiness. Everyone has the happiness, So now we have to see what kind of happiness we are. Sometimes we say ignorance is the bliss. Ignorance is the bliss. So that's happiness is not a bliss. So this like this person, no? So he's smoking, drunkard, and he find, oh, I'm in the different world, I'm happy. It's called ignorant bliss. So different type of happiness. So but in the mood of goodness, which is the beginning, maybe just like a poison, but at the end it's just like a nectar. For example, whatever activities like we are performing, sadhana bhakti, you wake up early in the morning, 4 o'clock, so you take a cold bath, and then you do perform your chanting, meditation. So in the beginning, you find it very difficult, correct? Isn't it? You wake up, wake up early is not, it's not, not everyone do, because they find that's the time, the best time for sleeping. You can sleep nicely. Correct? Agree? Anyone agree? Not agree?
Agree, Prabhu.
Wow, Purnish. Yeah.
50-50, Prabhu.
Yeah, 50-50.
50-50, Prabhu.
So that's the best time to sleep. But that when you wake up that time, you find it difficult to wake up, and then you do perform. But that's called is the passion. Is a beginning is like a poison. Why I have to give up? Sometimes you take a bitter stuff like medicine. Sometimes medicine is like bitter. So you take it, the beginning will be bitter, but towards the end it's good. It's nectar. It cure many diseases. Just like Vapala, you take neem leaf. Neem leaf is good. In the morning you take. They say to counteract this coronavirus, you take neem leaf and manja. Turmeric, the natural turmeric. So you take that both. So sometimes the neem leaf is very bitter, but it's towards the end is a nectar. It is cure many diseases. So like this, that's the happiness. Happiness in the beginning, like do sadhana bhakti, you find it very difficult, but you're performing and performing. Wake up early, you chant Hare Krishna. So it will help for self-realization. So when you are self-realized, you are happy in any situation. So that's you're situated in the mood of goodness. So in the passions, the happiness in the mood of passion, what happened? You derive the context from the sense of the objects, sense object. So you enjoy, you won't try to enjoy this, try to enjoy that. Your senses try to enjoy. So you are so much enjoying. So the beginning you find it, oh, I'm enjoying. But then you suffer for it, which appear like a nectar in the beginning, first, but poison in the end. Yeah. For all the suffering, for all whatever activity we do for sense gratification, for our own senses, sense pleasure, unless you take Krishna Prasadam or something related to the Lord. So you're nice, you take Prasadam, that's a real, enjoyment. Then there's no reactions. But you are try to enjoy yourself. Even too much also is not good. But if sometimes people try to take hot stuff like nasilama, nice hot sambal, you take, then the problem, stomach problem, purging or some disorder in the stomach or gastric, whatever, no, it happens. So the senses are enjoying, but towards the end, they're giving suffering. So that's in the mood of passion. So in the ignorance, they are void of self-realization. They are blind. So they are just ignorant is the bliss, which always delusion in the beginning, and they arise from sleep, laziness, illusions, and derive. That's the greatest. You just see the drunkard, So he'll be drunkard, and then he think, yeah, he's in a different world and enjoying. And some youngsters nowadays, the youngsters, the youths, they consume excessive pill, then they dance. So they try to enjoy the senses, but towards the end, they are totally in ignorance, total, stress. So, so this is three modes of material nature. The happiness, happiness is divided in these modes. So now we come to the story. Very nice story about performing duties, Tyaga, renunciation. What is the real renunciation? So you can see here, there's a Saluva Narsimha Deva Raya, king of Kanchi. And here we have a king Purushottama Dev. This is the king of Purushottama Dev in Odisha, Puri. Janapuri, Odisha. There's a famous deity of Lord Jagannath. So he's a Lord Jagannath deity. I mean, devotee, the king. Usually the king and the descendant of Prataparupura Maharaj. So they are worshipping Jagannath. This Jagannath is not different from Krishna himself, the form of Jagannath, the merciful form of Lord, excessive form of the Lord, called Jagannath. Jagannath, it means a lot of universe. So once what happened, this, so he sent, because, so the king of Kalinga, so this king of Kalinga in Kanchi, he sent the king of Kalinga for his daughter Padmavati. He wanted to give a marriage to Purushottama Dev. So then, so the minister spy, what is this? What is the Purushottam Dev, the king? His characteristic is what he's doing. So one day, what happened? This is during Radha Yatra, chariot festivals. So usually in Odisha, when they have a chariot festival, so the king will be sweeping the road. This is a service they do, sweeping the road. The king will be sweeping the road. And then the spy, the Kanchi king, the king of the Kanchi, the spy, so he went and he saw this Purushottama Dev, the king Purushottama Dev, he was sweeping the road. And then he went to report back to Kanchi king. Salava Narsimha Deva, nice name, huh? Saluva Narsimha Deva Rai, king. So he reported to this Kanchi king, and then he said this king, this Purushottama Dev king, is a sweeper, road sweeper. So road sweeper. Then, so there's a proposal to get married with the daughter of this Narsimha Dev, Padmavati. So then he wanted to spy what's happening here. And then the spy came and reported back to the king here, Kanchi, king of Kanchi. And then he said, this is a road sweeper. Why you want to get married with this? Why you want to give your daughter to get married with this road sweeper? So he just like insult this king. Or because he performing activities for the pleasure of the Lord. Purushottama Dev is sweeping the road. Although he's a king, but he's renounced. He doesn't attach to the work. His work is doing for the pleasure of the Lord. Usually we won't see the kings sweeping the road, but he doing just for the pleasure of Lord Jagannath. And since the Kanchi is insulting this king, Purushottama Dev, so Purushottama Dev become very angry. He's a Satriya, So he went to attack. So went to attack Kanchi. So then when the Kanchi king says, okay, we will fight, they said, if you lose the battle, the Kanchi king says, if you lose the battle, your Jagannath has to come to Kanchi, and there's a deity of Kanchipuram, Kanchi, there's a Ganesh temple. So that Lord Jagannath going to be behind Ganesh. And then he says, if you, the Kanchi king says, if I lose, you will, you can have my daughter as a wife. So then Purushottam Dev, Padma Purushottam Dev told Jagannath, so we're going to have a battle. So better you help us, because otherwise you're going to go behind Lord Ganesh. So we have to go to Kanchi, not here. So you have a nice place here in Odisha. So you better stay here. So better you help me to fight this king, Kanchi. So they went. King Purushottam, he went to Kanchi. So then what happened? Meanwhile to approach, there's one in Kanchi before Kanchi, there's one lady in this place called what do you call this place? Dave's. I forgot the name. There's a place where they have to cross the lady. They have to pay some tax, and then he has to go to that place. So then, when the soldier, when Purushottam Dev, he came, and then he want to cross the place. The lady stopped. There's a two. He told that there's a two soldier. He passed through this place, and then they say they don't have any money to pay, and they say that my king will come at the back. So you get the money from that person. That king, Purushottam, they were telling Purushottama Dev. So and then then the lady stopped the king, and then he says, oh, you have to pay because your two of your soldiers already went ahead to Kanchi, so you have to pay the tax. So then Purushottam Dev says, no, my soldiers are all at the back of me. There are none of them on front. Then the lady says, yes, you will be saying this. Then you will be saying this. That's why they're giving a ring. So they give a ring. So you tell this the ring, indicating that they are people, these kings Purushottama Dev. So when Purushottam Dev saw the ring, it was the ring of Lord Jagannath actually. So he was in the tears, because he knows that when he saw that ring, it is belonged to Lord Jagannath in Puri. So he knows the Lord has gone to fight with Kanchi, with his brother Balaram. So and he fought, and then he defeated. Lord Jagannath himself defeated this battle. Krishna himself defeated the king of Kanchi, and then King Purushottama Dev is won. And then when he's won, so Jagannath has to be back here in this place. And then, so then now, the king's daughter has to be given to Purushottam Dev, Padmavati. But since he insulted, so King Purushottam doesn't want her daughter. So he left. He left, doesn't want to marry with this Padmavati. Well, he refused to marry, and she said, why you have to, he said, Purushottam Dev, you want to marry, you married with the sweeper. Instead of Padmavati married Purushottam Dev, he said, you marry with a sweeper. So then what happened? The minister, they are very smart. The minister, Some or other he wants this Padmavati married with King Purushottam Dev. So during that's already 1 year after that period. So this was a chariot festival. So this was a chariot festival, Radhayatra. During that Radhayatra, the Padmavati was there, and during that chariot festival, Radhayatra, this King Purushottam Dev was sweeping the road. And then the minister came and said, since Purushottam Dev say you are married with the sweeper, so there is a sweeper. So he get married with the King Purushottam Dev again. So in this way, the Kanchi daughter, Padmavati, married with this Purushottam Dev. So this is nice story. This is in Jagannath Lila, Jagannath pastime. It's a real story happened in Puri and Kanchi there, where the Lord Jagannath himself fought for his devotee. It's a great, very nice stories are there, like this type of story, where relating to whatever activities were performed for the Lord's pleasure. So it's always bring us in victories. Just like here, Arjuna, Arjuna just listening whatever Krishna explained, and then in the end of this chapter, in this chapter, we see in the next week that what you call the conclusions after hearing all this knowledge, what Arjuna understand and how he's moved. He understand everything. Then he just follow the instruction. He become an instrument in the hand of Krishna. So it's very nice. Bhagavad Gita is just bring you to the era of devotional process, how to surrender to the Lord, and renunciation. What's the renunciation? Tyaga means. Tyaga means you perform your activities in the service of Krishna. So it's nice explanations here. So we encourage you to get this Srimad Bhagavatam set. 12 volumes, 12 cantos, 18 volumes. So nice you can have these sets of Srimad Bhagavatam, because Bhagavatam explained further the postgraduate knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. So Bhagavad Gita is like ABC. If you more knowledge you want to understand, read Bhagavatam. And yeah, so you can order this Gita kit. I think Anjanamati, you got your order?
Yes, Prabhuji.
You received, huh? Okay. Yes. Yeah, she ordered some chanting bag, chanting beads. Nice. Okay, we are ending. Yeah, yes, Madhuri.
After that, my mom ordered the Ekadashi rice, Prabhuji. She received
Moria rice. Moria rice. Okay. The Shopee, yeah? You can order in the Shopee also. Yeah.
No, from
Shopee is cheaper.
Oh,
I mean, we have a Shopee also in that, but the shipment will be cheaper.
Oh, okay. Okay, Prabhuji.
So, okay, thank you. Have you any question? Any sharing section? Ravinesh, you understand this chapter?
Yes, Prabhu, I did understand.
Karta. This is interesting, huh? 5 factor of, you must have remember, everyone has to remember this 5 factor. 4 is ours, 1 is the Lord. So you cannot blame God whatever action we do. Even people are blaming, you tell this, explain to them. You cannot blame God because this is a 4 factor. We are involved, not the Lord. Not Lord only sanction it. Nice explanation. This is 18, 13 or 14. Remember this verse. 18, 13, 14. You can quote this verse. Yeah, we've seen this. Very nice. Any questions? Any questions? Any comments? Can we understand?
Prabhu,
Yeah.
Mateshwari Mataji
Oh, in
texted
the
in the
chat
box in
box.
the
Huh?
chat.
Okay, let me check. Where is the chat box? Okay. I can't see the chat box. Wait, why you can't see? Oh, okay. Mateshwari, Hare Krishna, I have 2 questions. Can I ask, Prabhu? Sure. We have time to ask. Can Mataji? Can I ask Mataji? Oh, in the chat box. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Prabhu. If a person take a vow to promise that he or she will not get married and practice celibacy because of he or she is sacred or being attached, scared of being attached to sense, to continue is Krishna seva. If it is dharma or adharma, it is renunciation mode of goodness, Prabhu. Okay, Mataji, good questions. So if a person take a vow, promise that he will not get married. Actually, Prabhupada, you know what Prabhupada say about the marriage? He says, for men, he has to be renounced, not get married. You have to remain brahmachari. And for Mataji, he say you have to get married. So how is that?
Is it like the man gets married and then like after they have a child, the child takes care of the mother and the father goes and
Get a
renounce?
Okay, that's another point. The point is, yeah, if you are brahmachari, you remain brahmachari, but not all going to be a brahmachari. So somehow or other you get married. But for the woman, he has to get married because a woman is not independent. For woman, it's not a renunciation. According to Varnashram Dharma, even Chanakya Pandit says that woman shouldn't be independent. It's always dependent. So that's why renunciation for them is just to serve the husband. For example, what Chanakya Pandit says that in the beginning of when they are child, they are protected by father. When they are married, they are protected by husband, and when they are old, they are protected by the son, elderly son. So there's no renunciation. So far, no, yeah, I mean, it's not a sannyasini for them. It means they are just perform their work. That's the dharma. There's the dharma of the woman. You are talking about he or she. But the man, he can be renounced. He can take vanaprastha and he can renounce. Renounce means not giving up a duty, but he renounce means you act according to your mind, your words, your intelligence used in the service of the Lord. So that's called renunciation. So it means, in other words, if you are serving Krishna, whether you are married or not married, whether you attach the fruitive activities, but you detach from the fruitive activities, you're not attached to the fruit of results, then you are in tyaga, in renunciation. So you're asking here, is this dharma or dharma? So the first one I answered, get married, practice celibacy. Yes, practice celibacy for exceptional. Of course, even the grasa also, there's a grasa brahmachari grasa. So they renounce. Renounce means they are not attached to sense enjoyment. So there's procreation for child procreation only. So that's also called Tyaga. Renounce. Celibacy. Celibacy for practicing celibacy means not only for renounced order of life or celibate, those who are not married, but those who are married who are live together with a wife, but they are not attached in the sense of pleasure of the senses, but in they put Krishna in the center and work for the Lord pleasure. So that is also renunciation. Krishna said here. So you are not attached to the material desire, and you are renouncing the fruits of the actions. So there's Krishna say that in the chapter, in the text we are reading. So it means we are not attached to that. So that's also in the renounced order of life. This is not artificial monkey renunciation. It means monkey renunciation means makatta vairagya. Bhakti Thakur says makta vairagya means, oh, monkey also renounced. Monkey never ever anything, but you have so many girlfriends. Enjoy here, enjoy there. So it's the makatta vairagya. So we shouldn't be like that. So the real renunciation means whatever ashram you are, you may be a grihastha or you may be a sannyasi, but the point is he has to work for the Lord's pleasure. So it means when you work for the Lord's pleasure, it means you're automatically renouncing the fruits of the results, fruits of actions. So you're not entangled. So that's the real dharma. It's not artificially you are giving up, you become celibacy, but you are attached to other points. Yeah. Yeah, Mike, answer your question, Vijay. Okay. So the main point is what the renunciation means. You offer everything for the pleasure of the Lord.
Prabhu,
yeah,
relating to the Mateshwari's Mataji's question, I have some.
Okay.
So, for example, a lady marries a guy, and in a very short period of time, the husband passed away.
Okay.
So, is it a must for the lady to remarry again with someone else because they don't have any kids?
Okay.
So how does that go?
So it depends on the individual. So if she wants shelter, she want to depend to someone. If he can get married, it's nothing wrong, because the ladies always need a shelter, protections, called protections, either from the parents' side or from the husband's side or the son's side. So if they don't have son, they don't have parents, then they can have a marriage. There's nothing wrong. Yeah.
Okay. And Prabhu, one more thing is, for example, a lady don't want to get married. Like they don't even have the feeling of getting married.
Okay.
So can they just adapt a son who can take care of the mother?
Adoption,
Yeah, adoption of a son. Because as like you're saying, the mother, the lady needs to be protected all times so that she can carry her duty by renouncing and stuff. So can she just adopt by
as long as they are Krishna conscious, they can adopt anything, because the activities, even someone adopt the child, but his performance is not performing for certain reason, to attach to the results, or we are talking about, spiritual point of view. But in other point, we are trying to bring up this child to be Krishna conscious, to be God consciousness, and then that child going to deliver the person, you. Putra means, in other words, putra means one who deliver. That's why the putra, the son, is like they do the pinda, the kriyas for the parents, to give them liberation. But in the Srimad Bhagavatam 7th canto, it is mentioned that Prahlad Maharaj, when Prahlad Maharaj asked the fathers to be delivered, after he killed Narsingadev killed Hiranyakashipu. So then he says that your 14th generation will be delivered because you are Krishna conscious. Your God consciousness, because you're smaran of the Lord, because you're serving me. So all your forefathers will be delivered. So similarly, when you can have a child, but provided they have to be God consciousness, so that is helpful. Otherwise, simply have a child, but he's doing all kind of nonsense. He becomes troublesome to the parents, to the mother or the parents. Chanakya Pandit says, the foolish son is going to be enemy in your family.
Understood, Prabhu. All right, thank you.
Yeah, okay. Nice.
Prabhu Mateshwari Mataji has another question in the chat box.
Oh, okay. What is that? I have another question. Okay, Prabhu, if the same person take decision to break his promise in order to fulfill his Varnashrama household dharma, will they incur sin because of breaking the vow made before Prabhu? Made before. Try to catch your question. The same person take decision to break his promise. The same person take a decision to break his promise in order to fulfill the Varnashram. What kind of promise, Mataji?
Prabhu, I think so. Mateshwari Mataji is relating to the question before, which she says a person takes vow or promise that he or she will not get married.
Celibacy promise. So, person take a decision and break the promise in order to fulfill the will they incur breaking the vow? Breaking the vow made before. Breaking the vow made before. So means try to catch this. Same person. It means that two persons are renounced, is it? Taking celibacy. Division of the break is promised in order to fulfill his Varnashram household dharma. Two means 2% means who are you telling, Mataji? Husband, wife, or who are the 2%? Both Prabhu. Oh, you mean they are taking celibacy? You mean both husband, wife taking celibacy? So there's no celibacy. Actually, both are celibacy. Celibacy is meant for a renounced person. Of course, you can have a celibacy for husband, wife, for procreations. For procreations, there's no sin for procreations. So for the sense enjoyment, that's the incurred sin. Prabhupada says this is a proper version. Prabhupada quoted many things like contrast perspective they use. All these are mean for sense enjoyment. So that's incurred sin. So when they break the celibacy, but when they use it for Krishna service, like because in the Bhagavad Gita also Krishna say, I'm not contrary to the regulated sex life. It means a person's husband, wife have a child, a Krishna conscious child, then have a union. So that's called I am that, Krishna say. So it means you do it for not contrary to the religious principle. So when you do anything contrary to religious principle, then we incur sin. So dharma adharma is depends on the Sanskrit scriptures. What your activity is doing mean for what. So if you're doing for your own sense gratification, everything we want to do for our own sense enjoyment, that is lead to sinful activities. Everything is lead for the pleasure of the Lord, for the Krishna conscious, ultimate Krishna conscious activities, that is no sin. So even have like a person's husband, wife want to have a child, so that's not a sin. Provided they bring up a child in Krishna consciousness. Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much. So it's already 9 o'clock. So thanks for the question, Mataji. You make this interactive. And Pavinesh also. Thank you. So we have our Gita Gyan batch 4 starting tomorrow until 18/8. And we have a new slide also for the teenagers, more interactive. So we have about 1,119 participants. Okay, thank you very much.
Prabhu,
Yeah,
I
Praveen.
have a question, but not related to today's topic.
Okay, no problem.
Okay, it's more. I think it's more towards Garuda Puranam.
Okay.
So okay, if can we do the after people passed away,
Pinda.
we'll do something.
Pinda,
Yeah,
is it?
Pinda. Yeah, correct. So can we do that when people are still alive?
Still alive, no.
Yeah.
No. Why you want to do people?
No, we can't do that, right? Okay.
No.
So for example, taking into consideration the MH370 case, the missing plane, right?
Okay.
So we are not sure whether they are still
they
alive.
die or not.
Yes,
Yeah.
correct. So but still some of them do thinking
Pinda.
that, yeah. So doesn't it
That's,
contradict to the scriptures?
yeah. Maybe they've been hidden or die.
Yeah.
You never know, sir.
Yeah.
For the sake of for their satisfaction. I mean, for if they take a chance because they can't see that there's no more presence. Their presence is not there. So they take a chance to give some benefit for the soul. You know, because
they need a scene.
It means it's not a sin. It's not a sin because in other words, they are not present, and at the same time they disappear, and it's already many years.
Yeah,
they're not either they die or they leave. They don't know. So
yeah.
they take a chance to do that. Sometimes they want to do
So Prabhu, so for example, like in this case, since we don't know and the family performs Pinda, so isn't if let's say the people they are alive, so isn't it a sin for the family or either the person?
I'm not sure whether it's sin or not. I never come across with that, but I don't know. I can't say that, whether it's a sin or not sin. But when we things that which is happened, which is they are not, they already disappear. They are not in our association. So that their performance is sometimes they may benefit them. Although we don't know, but they are disappear. They are never in our association. So that can be done for their benefit because there's no it's just just like they already no more with us,
Yeah.
you know.
So okay, that is one. If another way, for example, another case, another case similar to this, but the people that who are lost maybe comes after like 10 years. Maybe they survived in a jungle or something, so they comes after 10 years.
10 years.
So do we have to like perform any other
Nothing.
things? Because previously we performed pinda, right?
Yeah.
Thinking that they have
died.
they have died. So like should we do something else
Chant.
to stop the pinda or something?
No,
I mean,
nothing. Just chant for them. That
Okay.
everything in Indify.
all right, okay. And for example, like the family, they are Krishna consciousness, okay? So
Okay.
I can maybe like the person who the victim is a very renounced person, has Krishna consciousness and all. So the family don't want to do the pinda because even the Lord said, right, if you really believe me, like you always think of me, I will do it for you. Like I will do the pinda for you if you are no more, right? So if the family believes in that, should they do the pinda or shouldn't they do, because they don't know whether the person lives or not?
Yeah. But if they have a full faith in the Lord wants to do, then there's nothing wrong. I mean, he's a great. Just like a Prataparudra Maharaja in Orisha king. There's a story. There's a story. He said the king says, "I don't want any child." Then the mother, then the wife cry. So why you don't want a child? Because then he will. When my child comes, he become a king. Then he will control. I mean, take this Jagannath. Become a controller. So I don't want this happen. So he take this boon he asked from Jagannath, Lord Jagannath. So then the wife is crying, Gundicha, she was crying. So how you say that? Who going to do pinda? And then Prataparudra requests Jagannath. Jagannath will come and do pinda.
Okay. Yeah.
So actually, in the story, that's a story that Lord Jagannath himself did a pinda for King Prataparudra.
Okay.
So when the Lord's promise, the Lord will come and do it. It happen. Like Krishna, Lord like Ram did for Jatayu, in Ramayana.
Not sure what that
ceremony. The Jatayu, the bird, and Ravana killed the bird.
No, I don't know.
Yeah. So Lord Ram did for Pinda to Jatayu.
Okay.
So like this, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did for his father, Pinda, in Gaya. So like this, they when the Lord promised, they will do.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. So
Hare
thanks
Krishna.
for your question.
Thank you.
Enliven us with your question. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, everyone, for your patience. February 9/7. So see you all next week. The final chapter 18, the last part. That's a very, very nice trill. Sanjaya said this is a trill. Bhagavad Gita is a trill, he says. So we will be seeing in that chapter. And after that, we may go for level 3. They're working out on level 3. So hopefully we can meet again for level 3. So next week, Hare Krishna. See you all. Thank you very much. Good night.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank
Hare
you.
Krishna. Ram.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you.
Vinesh.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Tangurilpu. Thank you. India.